I have made these stays a number of times in a number of different fabrics, and every time I wear any version of it, I get lots and lots of compliments. So this is how you can make your very own pair. For your convenience and mine, this tutorial is chopped up into a bunch of little bite-sized chunks so that there are very clear stopping points in case you don't want to do a one-day run-through, which I highly recommend you don't do that until you've made a couple of them at least. If you are just coming across this video, we are still in the process of the sew along, so you can go to the link that is in the description of the video to the playlist and hit the subscribe button and notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. Every good recipe starts with an ingredients list in the beginning. You will need Simplicity Pattern 8162. We're going to be using the stays pattern and doing a little modification to it. Choose your pattern size based on your body measurements, not your clothing size. If you choose your pattern size based on your clothing size, you're not going to like the results. Please measure yourself and choose the pattern based on your body measurements. I, with a 44-inch bust, have typically made a size 22. If you need larger, you can slash and spread the pattern pieces, but that's a little more complicated and we're not going to cover that in this tutorial. If you would like a tutorial on how to slash and spread this pattern specifically, please let me know in the comments. You will need a fabric for your strength layers. I highly recommend Coutil. I get mine from, not sponsored, tutu.com. Yes, it is $20 a yard. Yes, that is expensive, but the important quality that we're looking for in our strength layer is a fabric that doesn't stretch. That is very hard to find in modern day. Even cotton canvas has a little bit of stretch to it, and for a compression garment, we don't want stretch. Coutil is best if you're going to be wearing this as daily wear or for a long period of time. The beauty of Coutil is that what you tighten is what you get. You're not going to have any of the contraction and expansion that you get with an elastic fabric. In a pinch, you can use cotton canvas, but please, please, please promise me that if it starts to hurt, you will take them off. Safety first, comfort second, fashion third, okay? Next, of course, if you're wearing it as an outer garment, you're going to need some fashion fabric. If you are just using this as an undergarment, there is no need for fashion fabric. You don't have to make it pretty. You can if you want. I give you permission. I'm going to be using a silk crepe that I reclaimed from a secondhand kimono. This garment is super duper formal and is not likely to be worn again. As a culture, the Japanese don't really do secondhand, so by repurposing the fabric, I am keeping it out of landfill. I am completely and totally prepared for the firestorm of comments that I may get upset that I'm cutting into such a beautiful textile. If you liked the pair that I was wearing in this previous video, I recommend using this poly chenilled mask from Fabric Wholesale Direct. Again, not sponsored, but I do get a lot of questions about where I got the fabric for that pair. That was somebody else's stash that they gave to me. This fabric from Fabric Wholesale Direct is the closest that I could find for a reasonable price. You are going to need needles. A sharp, brand new needle. I recommend a 9014. I like to use organ needles. Again, not sponsored. I don't care what brand you use as long as it's brand new and sharp. You are also going to need a zipper foot. Make sure your zipper foot is compatible with your machine. If you're working on an older machine that only does straight stitch, they have a special zipper foot that wiggles side to side. If you're using a modern low shank machine, you'll have a zipper foot that looks like mine. We are only using a straight stitch for the construction of these stays, so you don't need to have a zigzag capability. You do, however, need a knowledge of how to work your machine. If you need a how to use a sewing machine video, please comment, tell me. I'm more than happy to make it if people need it. But tutorial videos are not the easiest videos to make, so I only want to do it if I know that it's going to help somebody. You're going to need some grommets, or in this case, eyelets. I use the Dritz 2-part with the plastic spacer. You're going to need something to punch a hole in your fabric. I use this craft tool number 6, which is a 3/16 inch hole punch. It's very slightly smaller than the shank on my eyelets. If you are using something that punches a hole like my tool, you're going to need a hard surface to work on and something to protect that surface because whatever you use under this punch is going to get ruined. You can use a scrap piece of wood, but be mindful that that may dull the edge of your punch. And you will, of course, need something to set your grommets with. The eyelets that I use comes with a setting tool in the package. You can use that with a small mallet, not a hammer. Mallets are very useful. I promise you, you will find other uses for it. I am weak and tire easily, so I have a specialized tool that I got for like $65 off Amazon. It's not the best build quality, but it does get the job done, and the frequency with which I am setting these eyelets does make it hugely worth it to me. You will need boning. If you have already done corsets or stays and you know what boning you like, go ahead and use that. If this is your first pair, please go out to Harbor Freight, not sponsored, and get a few packs of their heavy duty cable ties. They're like $1 a pack. I would get 3 packs or so because you're going to do a mock up, right? Right? You're going to need something to cut your boning with. I like these airline snips. We needed to get these for a different project around the house, and I have co-opted them because they're not frequently in use for anything else. You're going to need something to finish the ends of your binding. You can melt the ends with like a candle flame, but that like puts plastic fumes in the air, and we're kind of in the business of trying not to get cancer. So I'm going to be filing with this tool that I stole from the house tools. If you have the proper power tool already, you can use a belt sander for this. Please keep in mind that it does take off material at a much more rapid pace than using a hand file. You're going to need an iron. I don't care how big it is. I just care that it gets hot and preferably produces some steam. You will also need hydration. This is a project that can very easily result in hyperfocus, so I'm going to need you to take care of yourself and make sure that you have water nearby. I will remind you periodically to drink it. Please make sure before you start that you're in a good place. You've done what you need to take care of your physical body, you've eaten, you've rested well. There are some parts of this that may be frustrating, and so you need to approach it with an open and clear mindset and not already in a less than stellar place. Take some time to be ready and have some grace with yourself. I am using twill tape to bind this garment. I have used self-bias binding. I've used purchase bias binding. If you're going to use purchase bias binding, get 2 packs. Worst case, you can always return the unused one if you don't use it, unless, of course, you bought it at Joann's. But then you'll probably use it for a different project, right? You are also going to need a nice big clear ruler, which we are going to make very heavy use of in cutting our pattern pieces out. I will show you that in the next one. Thank you for your patience and grace with me in getting this video out. The releases of these videos will probably be random in and about my normal release schedule, so if you want to make sure that you don't miss it, subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you could also consider liking the video and leaving a comment, that really, really does help in the algorithm. Thank you. I really appreciate you being here. Please take care of my friend. I promise I'm doing everything I can to take care of yours. I'll see you next time.